Did you think this was over? Well, think again! Just as you all thought it was done. Soon as you thought they can't release anything more than they've released for Hu Tao and Rosaria. There's no possible way they could. Psych! yeah, you already know. We got new Rosaria and new Hu Tao gameplay for today's video. So we're gonna get into all this banger information. But before we do, what is up, my Whisker gang? What is up, all y'all? Whisker Chan in the building. Y'all already know how this goes. Y'all know how this flows. But anyway, what is up? How's everybody doing? Comment down below how you're doing right now. And also, let's go ahead and get into this banger information because I can't wait any longer. So let's go ahead and get right into this. But before we do, if you are new to the channel, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below and you join the subscribers on the grind to 3,000. And also, as you can see, most of you are not subscribed. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you could join the subscribers on the grind and just be part of the family. Trust me, it's worth. And also hit that like button and notification bell to be notified of all my daily uploads. Without further ado, Hu Tao and Rosaria await us. You guys probably didn't even guess this. You probably were saying, you know what? What else can they release? They're never gonna release this. They're never gonna release that. Especially not since the character's not out. No. We got it, guys. And y'all are probably asking what? We finally have some insight, some gameplay of Hu Tao's E skill. And yes, we've had a video of her burst and we've seen a little glimpse of how it works. But similar to that, we have this right here. And before you even say anything about the quality, this is not finalized at all. They're still working on Hu Tao before she comes out. So it's going to look a little wonky. But anyway, look at this. This is her Parmita papillio. As you can see, literally converts everything to pyro damage. We're going to go over this in depth. And like I said, the charge attack is looking way more useful than I thought. And this is going to play a huge role in her kit, her charge attack, and that also opens up opportunities of is it worth to actually go for C1. And we will see that really soon, but as you can see, this looks like insane. And look at that, that's her burst. We got a glimpse of her burst, like I said, but that's what it looks like when she's close up without any walls near her to cancel the animation out. But like I said, charge attacks, look at the charge attacks. It's making me think that charge attacks may be something you have to use in her kit like a lot. And I'm not saying that because of what it looks like, but I'm saying it because of the multipliers that it has on it, and also for how quick it can sort of be done. As you can see, it's being done a little bit fast. But of course, it's not as fast as lymphatic when cycling, but it does look similar to it, and it can be spammed a little bit. And if you have Constellation 1, then you definitely can spam that, and it'll be way more useful than you think, trust me. And it looks like it can get through crowds really well as well. So we're going to go in depth about the charge attack and also about Parmita papillio because it is so cool, guys, to look at this and actually get to see what she's going to be capable of. And her elemental burst is just looking crazy, guys. Like, look at this. It's not done yet. So, guys, take this all with a hint of salt. Of course, none of this is done. Some of this could change at last minute. Everything could change at last minute. So, definitely, like I said, take everything with a hint of salt. Just enjoy this little footage we have, though, of her and keep speculating because it's only going to get better before she releases. So, anyway, also shout out to NetNet. Let's go ahead and go right into this. So here we have Hu Tao, and as we've seen in the footage, guys, we have her Parmita papillio. Now, everyone knows how this works. Takes a quarter of your health, or more than a quarter of your health, basically 30% of your current HP, and you get an attack increase that's based on your max HP, meaning the more HP you have, the better the character's going to be, meaning running a HP build or HP sands with a pyro goblet and a crit damage or crit rate logos will be very ideal for you, and having as much crit damage substats or as much HP and crit damage substats as possible will be very great. That's just build wise, but we'll go over that for another video if you guys want that. But other than that, really, Parmita papillio that I just seen in the footage led me to believe a lot of things and a lot of new things that you can do with the character once she comes out. And you're probably saying, what do you mean by new things? Well, as you do know, in our Parmita papillio, the only way to apply the Blood Blossom to your enemies is by doing a charge attack. As you can see, charge attacks apply the Blood Blossom effect to enemies hit. Okay, so meaning that once you do that charge attack, you're going to apply the Blood Blossom, and every 4 seconds it's going to do pyro damage, and it lasts for 8 seconds, so it's going to tick for a total of 2 times. Say, for example, you're level 10, 115.2% times 2, 230.4% is the damage you will do with the Blood Blossom. And that's not even considering the attack increase while you're just spamming your attack while you have your max HP buff, basically, where your attack is dependent on your max HP. So anyway, that's going to last for 9 seconds, and the Blood Blossom will last for 8 seconds and tick every 4 seconds. But that's not really what I'm trying to say. But I am trying to say that yes, it is insane that, you know, you have the Blood Blossom, you have the attack increase based on your max HP. But what I'm also trying to say is, like I said, the way to apply the Blood Blossom is through charge attacks. And as we've seen in the footage, charge attack looks very, very viable, and it looks like it could be sort of spammed. So anyway, if we have a level 10 charge attack, we have 242.57%, and that's a really good multiplier for a charge attack on a pole arm user. And also we have the charge attack stamina cost of 25. But I also want to note one thing after this. But as you can see, we have the charge attack stamina cost, which is 25, meaning that every time you use this, it's going to take like 25 stamina, of course, and then it's just going to zoom and zip through your enemies. But the good thing about this is, once you do this, this is not even the final number. And you're probably saying, why is 242.57 not the final number for the charge attack? Well, that's because if you're in Parmita Papillio, you have, remember, at level 10, 6.26% of your max HP, meaning that that attack increase is going to apply to everything you have. Okay, so once you get this attack increase, it's going to actually increase your charge attack hit even more. You're going to do more damage on your charge attack. And then that's not even including this as well. You have a 33% increased pyro damage bonus, which means once you go into your Parmita Papillio, not only are you getting the attack increase based off your max HP, and say for example level 10 with 6.26% of your max HP, right? You're also getting her pyro damage bonus, which increases by 33% when she's basically below 50% health. So if you go below 50% health, or you go equal to 50% health, which is how the character should be played at all times, it's literally below health so you go perform the best way possible, then you will have this bonus, and you'll do even more damage because you'll have more pyro damage. And if you run a Crimson Witch of Flames set, if you run the 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flames, and then you have the 33% increased pyro damage if you're below 50% health, and then you have a Pyro Goblet, you're going to be looking at 115% plus pyro damage. Or yeah, something like that, exactly. So you're going to be doing tons of pyro damage. And once you go into Parmita Papillio, you know, all you're doing is pyro damage because everything converts to pyro damage. And then you have the attack increase, you know, then you have the Blood Blossom that you could apply with the charge attacks. What I'm saying is your charge attack is going to be way stronger than just 242.57% with all the power damage to deal with it, with also the attack increase that you get based on your max HP. It's going to be doing tons of damage, and like I said, as you've seen in the footage, it looks pretty viable, and it looks like it could be something that could be a little bit spammed. Even though it's a little wonky right now, it could definitely be spammed, and it looks like it's going to be something of her kit that many people should use. And another reason I should say this is because, say for example, some of you get extremely lucky and you somehow get C1 in one pull or something like that. Well guys, while in Parmita Papillio state, while it's activated basically, Hu Tao's charge attacks do not consume stamina. That means that you can literally spam for 9 seconds your charge attack without using any stamina, and throw out all those big chunks of 115% pyro damage, as well as that attack increase, as well as the base, you know, percentage of her charge attack. So you're going to be throwing out a lot of damage, and this is not even to consider her combo, which is her spear combo, which goes up to 6 hits as you can see, and it goes pretty reasonably high. Like I said, this character is going to be insane, absolutely nerve-wracking. I can't even believe that I didn't know her charge attack would like look like that crazy. I didn't know it was actually finalized when I watched that other footage of her leaked gameplay. I didn't know they were going to make it look like that, but since it looks like that, that opens up a lot of possibilities for this character, and also another playstyle for this character, depending on how you want to play the game, depending on what type of damage you want to do, of course. But like I said, the charge attack is definitely going to play a big role in her kit, in my opinion. That's how I feel. And especially if you have C1, C1's going to make charge attacks even way more optimal. It's just going to make you such a strong unit. And then for 9 seconds, you're going to be doing that charge attack damage. And then you're going to have your attack increase. Then you're going to have a 33% increased pyro damage to your Pyro Goblet. And then, you know, the Pyro bonus on the 2-piece set of the Crimson Witch of Flames. You're just going to have so much to offer with this character. And this is not even including the weapon if you get the Staff Homa, or if you have the Death Match, or if you have the Primordial Jade. This is not even including any of that. And with that, this could be even more insane. So this character's potential is actually getting better and better by the day. The more leaks that we get about her, the better it seems she's going to be. I don't see any nerfs incoming for her. I feel like she's very balanced with this base attack, this base HP, crit damage. This is her nerf really right here. If this was higher, this would have been kind of broken. She would have been broken. So it's good that they leave it like this. But like I said though, this character has so much to offer, and I can't wait for her to come out. And nobody can wait for her to come out. So that's really about it for her though. These are essential materials if you want to pause to get these real quick. And yeah, that is what I wanted to discuss. Her potential for a unit for a charge attack, why her charge attack might be too good or might be really, really good and optimal to use a lot. And also why Constellation 1 will support her the most. And like I said, as you can see right here, let's show it one more time. Look at her charge attacks. Look how fast you can do them. 1, 2, 3. It just looks like, and then it's gonna do so much damage. Like I said, if you have the right build on her, it's gonna do tons of damage with that charge attack, and then apply the Blood Blossom effect, and it's just gonna do so much. And then while you have that Blood Blossom effect, it's gonna be ticking for 2 times, you know, for those every 4 seconds in that 8 seconds, and then you're just gonna be zipping through them with charged and normal attacks. It's just gonna be insane. You're gonna be doing tons of damage. It's gonna be a really insane gameplay. It's gonna be a really insane character, and especially it's gonna be different. And that's one thing I love about Genshin is they definitely make every character different. Every character is way more different than we think. Like Ganyu versus Amber, we thought that they would be the same, but they're different, as you can see, 100%. But anyway, as I was saying, literally everything they bring to the plate, every new character is always going to be different and always going to be special in their own way. And I love that about this game. So anyway, let's go ahead and go on to Rosaria and talk a little bit about her. You guys thought we didn't have no Rosaria information? Well, think again. As you can see, this is Rosaria's Elemental Burst. Now, since she's a 4-star, of course she doesn't have all the super animations and whatnot. But as you can see, it's a quick slice into a literal kick down ice lance smacking the floor. Now, as we have noted and as we have talked about in her kit, she has her Elemental Burst, which we will describe in one moment, which can put out an ice lance that has an area of effect similar to how Albedo has an area of effect in his elemental skill. Now, we're going to talk about that really soon and talk about this as well. And this looks extremely cool, even though this is like really fast and framed really fast. This is not final. This can change at last minute. This is a 1.4 4-star, so definitely there's room for changing, room for improvement, whatever you want to call it. They're definitely going to be changing some things before she comes out. But this is a glimpse into her Elemental Burst and how it looks. And as you can see, it looks pretty cool. I like it because of how she looks. Literally, the character's aesthetic just looks good to me. So anyway, let's go over this character a little bit. Now, as we have seen, we were looking at her last rites, or aka her Elemental Burst. Now, like I said, this is where Rosaria's signature act of prayer. She swings her weapon to slash nearby opponents, and she summons a frigid ice lance that strikes the ground, dealing cryo damage at both times. So as you can see, she does a slice, then slaps the floor with some ice. Hey, that rhymed. She does a slice, then slap the floor with some ice, and then she deals cryo damage both times. And then while active, the ice lance will periodically release the cold air, dealing cryo damage to surrounding opponents, which sets up for her DPS or DPS support or support build. And the reason I say that is because of how long this stays on the floor, and also the elemental reactions that could be done with cryo, which is like the best one in the game, melt. So anyway, as you can see, we have 2 skill damage on the first initial damage, and then we have the second damage, which is where the ice lance drops to the floor and smacks. And then we have the continuous ice damage that happens when the ice lance is in the floor for the duration of 8 seconds. So we have literally 8 seconds while that lance is in the floor. It's going to be ticking. We don't know if it's going to be every second because, like I said, nothing is really finalized on Rosaria since she is nowhere near here. They're still working on her, still testing on her and whatnot. But she definitely probably is going to have this damage. If it is every second and then we have 8 seconds, that's actually going to be kind of broken because that's almost 200% damage. And if it's 200% every second, then that's 8 seconds. That's going to be tons of damage. Too much damage for them to actually put on a 4-star character. So they're probably going to do like, you know, 194.4% every 2 seconds or something like that. Similar to Albedo, how his Transient Blossoms only hit every 2 seconds if an enemy gets hit in his field. So anyway, as I was saying, this is going to be very insane because as you've seen in the animation, it's pretty quick. And not only is it pretty quick, it's throwing out a massive chunk of damage. And then we have the continuous damage. And she's a 4-star character, guys. Do not forget that. We have the continuous damage, which can go up to a lot of percent at level 15, which is 256.5%. And that's not even including the initial damage and the impact damage. So it's going to be insane burst. I feel like this is definitely going to be really good. And not only to mention that, let's go ahead and look at the, before we even get off of this, the cooldown time 15 seconds and the elemental energy cost is 60, which sets up for like to get the energy back extremely fast. If you go in well into Venti's banner and you just like get her Constellation 6, the reason it's so good is because she's going to be a DPS, because every crit hit, her attack speed increases by 10% and her normal attack damage increases by 10% for 4 seconds. So if you have a crit rate build on her and you crit every single time, your normal attack damage will always be increased by 10%, always, right? And then we also have the duration of the ice lance created by last rites is increased by 4 seconds. Now remember, guys, this ice lance is going to do continuous cryo damage. So the continuous cryo damage can be used to do more damage with her DPS, or it could be used to do reactions. meaning you do her elemental burst and you swap out, and then you go to, you know, a pyro user or something of that nature, and then you just destroy the field with melt, is what I'm saying. So this is going to be insane. Having an additional 4 seconds on the Ice Lance is insane to me. And then that's not even the only thing. We also have the amazing Disgrace, Ravaging Confession, or her elemental skill. Crit hits regenerate 5 energy for Rosaria. And like I said initially, she will be getting her energy back considerably fast. Especially if you have like some artifacts, if you have crit rate on them, and some of them probably have, you know, a substat of energy recharge or something like that. You will get your burst back extremely fast. You don't even probably need energy recharge. You can run an energy battery on the team, which is like Venti or like Sucrose and characters of that nature, of course. So, but what I'm saying is mainly you're going to be getting your energy back really good because of how fast her elemental skill cools down with the 7-second cooldown, and having those 2 damages, which is the initial damage as well as the slash damage. And it's just going to give you so many particles back, I feel like. And then not only that, we have this right here, which should be giving a lot of particles because of the continuous ice damage and an area of field effect, if it does really have an area of field effect. And it's just you're just gonna get so much energy back. And then not only that, if you have the Constellation 4, you'll get even more energy back after using your elemental skill. And every time you use your elemental skill, you'll get energy back, plus the energy that you normally get back. So it's just going to be really good. I feel like she's going to be extremely good sub DPS as well as DPS. And for reactions, she's going to be insane because she's going to be able to get her elemental burst back pretty fast, I feel like, because based on her kit. Anyway, we have Constellation 6, which is Last Rites attack. Decreases the opponent's physical rest by 5% for 10 seconds. This is a max of 4 stacks, meaning it can go up to 20% decreased physical rest. Now, I think this is insane. But at the same time, it lasts for 10 seconds, right? So you have the opponent's physical rest decreased by 5% for 10 seconds to max of 4 stacks. And that's after you use her elemental burst. If it's like to where it takes, like if it hits, say for example, if it hits 2 enemies, that's, you know, 10% decreased physical rest. If it hits 4 enemies, that's 20% decreased physical rest. And that's the max of 4 stacks. Depending on how it hits, we need more details for Divine Retribution. But anyway, if this does work, like to where you have to do your elemental burst to get 1 physical res decreased by 5%, then that would be pretty bad. We actually would want it to where it's like it depends on how many enemies are hit, or, you know, something of that nature, because we can't just recharge our Last Rites in 10 seconds. Because as you can see up here, guys, the Last Rites has a 15-second cooldown in the first place, so it has to be based on the number of enemies hit or something of that nature, like I said. So we will see about that. But anyway, as I was saying, Constellation 1 through 4 is just extremely useful. We don't know much about Divine Retribution, which is C6, but it'll still be useful to have. They're going to update it. By the time we get her, this will definitely be updated and we'll know everything about it. But C1 through C4 is just so useful to the character for her DPS, for her support, for her energy recharge, or getting her energy back is what I'm saying, for Last Rites, and for, you know, this cooldown time on her Ravaging Confession still it has me amazed because of the damage it's going to potentially do, and then the cooldown that it has. It's just insane to me. This is basically like Venti's E skill, literally, and you can spam that basically with Venti. So I feel like this is going to be very spammable. She's going to be a really good unit, 100%. Just like Hu Tao is going to be an extremely good unit. Both of these units are going to be extremely good, and I'm so happy that we got new footage on them. It's just actually bonkers. It's so cool to see new things. Even though they're not finalized, it's so cool to see it and see it like it being worked on and being in progress, and it's like coming to the game really soon, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be really cool. Can't wait for any of this. And yeah, that's really about it for this video. Just wanted to go over Hu Tao and Rosaria's new gameplay footage and go over a little bit about their characters' attacks that correlate to the footage, because I felt like definitely seeing it and also comparing it to the data is way better than just saying the data and not having something to compare it to, not having some footage to compare it to. Now that we have this footage, this definitely opens up the eyes of everyone. I know that everyone's thinking and looking at this charge attack like, whoa, I didn't know it was going to be like that. Well, now that we know, it's definitely got some range, it got some AoE, it's going to be really good. And it's not even finalized yet, guys. So definitely keep your eyes open, keep your eyes peeled. This is going to be really cool. I'm going to be updating you guys if there's any more updates on this, of course. And as for Rosaria, it just looks insane. Look at this. She slices and then slaps the Ice Lance to the floor, and then it's going to shock and do double damage. Initial damage, impact damage, and then continuous ice damage. Just insane damage. So anyway, insane 4-star. I think she should be a 5-star in my opinion, but we're not going to talk about that. Insane 4-star unit, guys. This is amazing. Can't wait to get Hu Tao first and then get Rosaria because as you do know, Rosaria is in 1.4 and Hu Tao is coming in 1.3 at the end. So yeah, look forward to this, guys. Keep saving and go ahead and get you your Hu Tao and also get you your Rosaria. Hopefully you have luck with these summons, and hopefully you did enjoy this content. If you did, make sure you smash the like button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 3,000, guys. Go ahead and hit that button down below. Smash that like button and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my daily uploads. But without further ado, that's really about it for this video. Just wanted to discuss these two things, and I hope you did enjoy, and I hope you're as hyped as me. So yeah, I will continue to update you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.